Have you ever felt like animals act differently around certain people? Like a cat that won't stop staring at someone, or a dog that suddenly growls at a person who seems nice? What if I told you it's not random? What if animals can actually sense something deeper than what we see on the outside? Some say animals can tell the difference between someone who is truly chosen by God and someone who just pretends to be. In today's video, we're diving into a mysterious and powerful topic. Are you a chosen one or a narcissist of God? These are 9 animals that don't just see with their eyes. They feel your energy, your soul, your intentions. They know if you're walking in humility and purpose, or if you're using spiritual talk to feed your ego. Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because what you'll discover might shock you. This isn't just about animals. This is about you, about your spirit, and about the signs the universe and nature are already giving you. So before we begin, I want you to do 3 things. Join our community by subscribing. This space is for people who are serious about truth and growth. Show some love by liking this video. It helps more people find this message. And most of all, stay till the end, because the last animal on this list holds a secret that could change how you see yourself forever. Ready? Let's begin this journey together and find out what the animals have to say about you. Some people talk about light, love, and being spiritual. They say they are chosen, special, or close to God. But just because someone says they carry light doesn't mean they truly do. Sometimes they're actually full of pride, and they wear spirituality like a costume. On the outside, they look peaceful and kind, but on the inside, their hearts are full of ego. They want attention, power, and to be praised. They don't want to serve or heal. They want to be admired. Here's where things get interesting. Animals don't care about your fancy words or your spiritual look. They don't listen to your long prayers or care about your online followers. They feel your energy. They sense who you really are when no one's watching. A humble person may walk into a room silently, but animals will gather near them. Why? Because their heart is soft and their spirit is calm. But someone who talks too much about how special they are, who secretly thinks they're better than others, animals often avoid them. That's the hook. Nature isn't fooled by acting. Animals aren't impressed by pride dressed as light. There's a deep lesson here. True light doesn't shout. It shines quietly. Real chosen ones don't need to keep saying it. They just live it. They help others without needing praise. They stay kind, even when no one sees. And animals? They notice. In many old stories and cultures, animals were seen as messengers or protectors. Cats, dogs, even birds and insects. They all react differently around different people. This is not magic, it's instinct. They feel if your soul is clean, if your heart is heavy, or if your spirit is proud. So, the next time an animal comes close to you or avoids you, don't ignore it. Maybe it's not just a random moment. Maybe it's a silent truth being revealed. Because in a world full of people pretending to be the light, animals still know who really carries it. Some people speak with strong words. They talk about God, light, and being chosen. They preach loudly, post spiritual quotes, and try to show the world how holy they are. But deep down, their heart might not match their words. It's easy to sound spiritual. It's easy to act like you're special. But energy? You can't fake that. Spirit? That comes from within. And animals, they feel it. These 9 animals don't care about how many followers you have or how well you speak. They don't listen to your voice. They listen to your vibe. If your spirit is calm, peaceful, and true, they'll come close. They'll feel safe with you. But if your energy is filled with pride, ego, or fake kindness, they'll keep their distance. Or worse, they'll growl, hiss, fly away, or even glare at you with eyes that seem to see right through you. That's the power of animals. They don't judge by what you say. They judge by who you are, deep down, beneath the surface, beneath the masks people wear. And sometimes, their reactions can reveal what even humans miss. Have you ever seen a dog bark at someone who seemed nice? Or a cat who always hides when a certain person enters the room? That's not just behavior. It's instinct. It's a spiritual radar. It's their way of saying, something is off here. In a world full of noise, true spirit is often silent. You don't have to shout that you're chosen. You just have to be. And animals, they'll know. They'll feel it in your presence, whether you're truly walking with light or just making noise. Because being loud doesn't make you powerful, but being real, that's something even the quietest creature will respect. Cats are mysterious creatures. They move quietly, watch closely, and often sit in silence as if they're thinking deeply. Many people think cats are just staring into space when they fix their eyes on something. But what if they're not? What if cats are actually looking at something we can't see? Sometimes, when a cat looks at a person, it's more than just a glance. Their eyes are deep, sharp, and full of something ancient. They don't just see your clothes or your smile. They feel your energy. They sense your mood, your spirit, even the parts of you that you try to hide. When a cat stares at you for a long time, it's not just out of curiosity. It could be sensing your true nature. That's what makes cats different. They don't come close to everyone. They're not easily fooled by kind words or fake smiles. They are drawn to quiet energy, peaceful hearts, and people who carry a calm spirit. If a cat curls up next to you, purrs on your lap, or gently touches you with its paw, it's not just because you're warm. It might be because it trusts you. But if a cat avoids you, runs away, or watches you from a distance without blinking, it could be a sign. Maybe your energy feels off. Maybe there's something you need to fix inside. Cats don't lie. They don't pretend to like someone just to be polite. Their instincts are pure, and their behavior often tells a deeper story. In many cultures, cats were seen as protectors of the spiritual world, guardians of secrets. They watch over homes, sense danger, and even comfort the brokenhearted. So, the next time a cat stares at you, don't just laugh it off. Take a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself, what is it seeing in me? Because maybe, just maybe, that cat is staring through your soul. Dogs are known for their loyalty. They stand by the people they trust, protect those they love, and can sense danger before it arrives. They don't follow someone because of how they talk. They follow because of how someone feels. A dog doesn't need you to prove your goodness with words. It simply knows. That's why dogs are often drawn to people who carry peace, love, and a strong sense of purpose. Their tails wag, their eyes soften, and they come close without fear. But sometimes, something strange happens. A person walks in, speaking about God, light, and faith, and the dog doesn't wag its tail. It growls. It backs away. It watches carefully, like something isn't right. It makes you wonder, what is the dog sensing? Dogs don't understand pride the way humans do, but they feel the weight of it. A person full of ego may sound spiritual, but their energy is sharp, controlling, or false. Dogs can tell when someone's heart doesn't match their words. They sense when someone is acting godly just to be praised, not to serve a higher purpose. This is what makes dogs special. They are protectors of truth. They respond to honesty, humility, and true connection. If a dog trusts you, it's a sign that your energy is steady and real. But if a dog reacts with fear or growling, even if you say all the right words, it might be revealing something you can't hide with a smile. In many stories and cultures, dogs are seen as guardians between worlds. They protect, they warn, and they reveal. So, if a dog growls at someone who claims to be godly, don't ignore it. It might not be just a bad mood. It might be a whisper from the spirit world saying, "This one speaks of light, but carries pride." Watch the dog. It might be showing you the truth. Crows are not just black birds that fly in the sky. They're intelligent, mysterious, and deeply connected to the spiritual world. For centuries, many cultures around the world have believed that crows carry messages, not random messages, but spiritual signs meant for those who are aware, quiet, and wise enough to notice them. And have you ever seen a crow follow someone? Not just fly by, but actually sit near them, call out, or appear again and again in their path. That's not always just nature. It could be something deeper. In ancient times, people didn't fear crows. They respected them. Crows were seen as symbols of knowledge, protectors of hidden truth, and messengers between the human world and the spirit realm. They didn't waste time with loud, proud people who thought they knew everything. Instead, crows would appear to the calm observers, the ones who watched the world with quiet eyes, the ones who listened more than they spoke. These were the people with wisdom in their hearts, not ego. That's the secret. Crows sense wisdom, not noise. In today's world, many people want to be seen as special or chosen. They talk about being guided or being spiritual leaders. But true connection to higher knowledge doesn't come from being loud. It comes from stillness. Crows know the difference. A proud person might walk through a field and never notice the crow watching from a branch. Or worse, the crow might caw harshly at them, warning others of their energy. But a humble person, the one who doesn't seek attention, who walks softly and thinks deeply, may find a crow flying alongside them, calling gently, or landing close without fear. This isn't by chance. It's a form of silent recognition. Crows have sharp memories. They remember faces, places, and energy. If a crow follows you, watches you, or returns again and again, it may mean something. Maybe you're walking in truth. Maybe your spirit carries a message, or maybe the crow has one for you. In some legends, crows only speak to those ready to hear what others ignore. There are people who talk loudly about spiritual gifts, but crows don't go to them. And there are others, quiet and thoughtful, walking with open hearts, and crows gather near them. That's because being wise has nothing to do with how much you say. It's about how much you understand without needing to speak. So, if a crow follows you, don't be afraid. Don't chase it away. Pay attention. Think about what's on your mind, what's in your heart, and what you've been feeling lately. Sometimes, the answers we search for don't come from people. They come from nature. And sometimes, they arrive on wings. In a world full of noise, the crow still chooses the quiet thinker, the observer, the one who walks in humility, because messages from above aren't sent to the proud, but to the wise. Snakes have long carried a powerful meaning in many cultures. Some see them as symbols of danger or temptation. Others see them as wise, ancient beings, guardians of sacred ground, and keepers of hidden knowledge. But there's one thing all traditions agree on. Snakes don't act without purpose. They move slowly. They watch. They sense everything around them, especially what lies beneath the surface. When a chosen one walks by, a snake doesn't panic. It doesn't attack. It simply observes in silence, honoring the presence of something real. You see, chosen ones carry a calm energy, an inner stillness that even nature can feel. They don't come with pride or the need to prove anything. Their light speaks without words, and the snake respects that. But when an imposter arrives, someone who sounds spiritual, who claims to be chosen, yet walks with ego and hunger for attention, snakes feel the shift. Their bodies tense. Their tongues flicker rapidly. Their eyes narrow. And sometimes they hiss. That hiss is not just a sound. It's a warning. It says, "I see through you." Snakes don't listen to the noise people make. They listen to energy. They read the air. And when someone pretends to carry divine truth, but hides behind masks of pride or selfishness, snakes react. Because pride creates movement that doesn't align with nature. It disturbs the balance, and snakes are protectors of that balance. There are people who walk like prophets, but speak only to be admired. Their words may sound holy, but their hearts chase power, not peace. Nature sees this. Animals feel it, especially snakes. If a snake seems calm around someone, it doesn't mean it's tame. It means it recognizes something true. It chooses stillness when it feels aligned. But when it senses a fraud, it shows its warning. Not out of hate, but out of deep instinct. A reminder that sacred ground is not for show. So, if a snake hisses, don't just run. Reflect. Ask yourself, what did it sense that you didn't? Because snakes don't hiss without reason. And chosen ones? They never need to prove themselves to a snake. The silence between them speaks loud enough. True humility is a quiet strength that shines from within, not something you announce to the world. The chosen walk with this gentle confidence. They don't need to shout about their gifts or display their spirituality like a badge. Their actions, kindness, and calm presence speak volumes without saying a word. They understand that true power comes from serving others, not from being seen or praised. On the other hand, narcissists often wear spirituality like a costume. They put on the appearance of holiness, quoting scriptures or speaking about divine purpose. But underneath, it's all about them. Their focus is on gaining attention, admiration, and control. Their spirituality becomes a mask, hiding pride and selfishness rather than revealing true connection to something higher. Animals, with their pure instincts, see beyond these masks. They don't judge by words or appearances. Instead, they sense energy, whether it's humble and sincere or loud and fake. A calm and humble spirit draws animals near. They feel safe and at peace. But if someone is wearing spirituality like a show, animals pick up on the false energy and keep their distance. This natural ability of animals to see the truth reminds us that real spirituality is about being genuine inside, not just playing a role outside. The chosen carry a light that animals recognize and honor. Narcissists, no matter how much they try, can never fool the quiet wisdom of nature. True spiritual power is invisible to the eye, but felt deeply in the heart. And animals know the difference instinctively. People can be very clever with their words. They can tell stories, give speeches, and even sound very convincing when they talk about being good, kind, or spiritual. Sometimes these words are true, but other times they are only masks, ways to hide what's really inside. It's easy to fool people with words because words can be rehearsed, polished, and designed to impress. But there is one group that words can never fool: animals. Animals don't rely on words to understand the world around them. They use their instincts, those deep, natural feelings that help them survive and make sense of their environment. Their instincts are sharper than any sermon or speech you might hear. They don't get tricked by fancy language or confident promises. Instead, they sense the energy behind the words. They feel the truth or the lie in a person's spirit. Think about how a dog behaves when meeting someone new. If the person is kind and honest, the dog will usually wag its tail, come close, and show affection. But if something feels off, maybe the person is hiding something or pretending to be better than they really are, the dog might growl, back away, or stay alert. The dog isn't reacting to what the person says. It's reacting to how they feel inside. The same goes for cats, birds, snakes, and other animals. They pick up on subtle signals, like body language, tone of voice, and even the energy a person gives off. This instinct is a kind of truth detector that doesn't lie. Even if someone talks about love and kindness, if their energy is fake or full of pride, animals will notice. They don't care about the words. They care about the heart behind those words. This instinct of animals is something humans can learn from. It teaches us that true character isn't shown by what we say, but by what we truly are. It reminds us to be honest, humble, and sincere, because nothing can hide forever, not from animals and not from ourselves. In many cultures, animals are seen as spiritual guides or messengers because they sense things humans cannot. They live closely with nature and understand balance. When an animal reacts to someone, it is like a message from the universe. It says, "Look deeper, see what is real." So, no matter how well you speak, animals will always see beyond your words. They remind us that true connection comes from the honesty and genuine spirit, not from clever speech or showy actions. Words can paint a picture, but instincts reveal the truth. And animals, they never get fooled. True, chosen ones carry a quiet power that doesn't need loud announcements or grand declarations. They don't need to tell the world who they are or demand recognition because their energy naturally draws others in, especially animals. There's something deeply authentic about them that animals can sense without words. When a true chosen one walks into a room or moves through the world, animals notice. Birds might sing softly nearby. Dogs might stay close without being asked. And even wild creatures seem to watch with calm respect. This silent following isn't about noise or showiness. It's a natural response to genuine energy. Animals respond not to titles or claims, but to the true spirit beneath. Animals have instincts far sharper than human words. They don't get fooled by someone who talks about being special, but carries ego or pride. Instead, they are drawn to humility, kindness, and strength rooted in truth. The chosen one's presence is a silent invitation, a signal that says, "Here is someone who walks with purpose, but without pretense." This kind of connection between chosen ones and animals is a quiet confirmation of authenticity. No speeches are needed, no certificates or proofs, just the steady, real energy that animals can't help but follow. So, if you ever wonder If someone is truly chosen, watch how the animals behave around them. Their silent trust and gentle closeness reveal the truth more clearly than any words ever could. In today's world, it's easy to share quotes from the Bible or spiritual messages on Instagram and other social media platforms. Many people use these quotes to inspire others, show their beliefs, or express their faith. But there's a deeper truth that goes beyond the pretty pictures and carefully chosen words. The spiritual world and the animals that connect us to it see far beyond these surface displays. Posting a Bible quote online can make someone appear spiritual, wise, or chosen. But true spirituality is not about how many likes or followers you have. It's not about looking holy or sharing the right verses. Spirituality is about what is inside your heart and how you live your life every day. It's about sincerity, humility, and connection with something greater than yourself. The spiritual world, the unseen realm where energy, spirit, and truth exist, can sense the real from the fake. It can see when someone is genuine and when someone is simply performing. No matter how many beautiful quotes you post, your true nature is clear in your actions, intentions, and energy. The spiritual world understands that true faith is lived, not just shared as a caption. Animals, too, are deeply connected to this spiritual truth. They don't care about social media or words. Instead, they read energy, the real feelings and intentions that people carry. Animals are natural observers sent by the universe to help us understand ourselves better. They can sense whether someone's spirit is humble or prideful, kind or selfish, honest or fake. For example, a cat may silently watch someone who posts many spiritual quotes, but behaves arrogantly or harshly in real life. That cat feels the disconnect between the words and the person's true nature. A dog might refuse to approach someone who seems insincere, even if that person talks about faith and love. These animals act as mirrors, reflecting what we really are beneath our public image. The spiritual world and the animals remind us that true spirituality is not about performance or appearance. It's about being authentic and living in alignment with our beliefs. It's about kindness, humility, and love that come from the heart, not just words we share online. This truth challenges us to look deeper at ourselves. Are we living the faith we post? Are our actions matching our words? The animals in the spiritual realm encourage us to be honest with ourselves and grow in true understanding. They invite us to connect with the real spirit inside us rather than the image we show to others. In a world full of online shows and filters, the spiritual world and animals see beyond the surface. They remind us that our true worth is measured by what is in our hearts, not by how many quotes we share or how spiritual we appear on social media. So, the next time you post a Bible quote, remember that real spirituality lives in the quiet moments, the small acts of kindness, and the humble heart that animals and the spiritual world recognize. It's not about the pictures or the likes. It's about the truth within you. Confidence is a powerful quality. It helps people face challenges, believe in their abilities, and inspire others. When someone walks with confidence, they show strength and assurance that can lift the spirits of those around them. But there is a very thin line that separates true confidence from something called divine arrogance, a dangerous pride disguised as spiritual greatness. True confidence comes from knowing your worth without needing to prove it. It is humble, calm, and steady. People who carry this kind of confidence don't brag or demand attention. They act with kindness and purpose, trusting in their path without pushing others down. This kind of confidence is rooted in honesty and respect, both for oneself and for others. Divine arrogance, on the other hand, is when someone believes they are chosen or special, but their confidence turns into pride. It's a loud, demanding energy that wants recognition and control. This arrogance is often hidden behind religious or spiritual words, making it hard for some to see. But nature, the plants, animals, and elements, can sense this false pride immediately. Nature reacts to true confidence with harmony. Animals approach, flowers bloom, and the environment feels peaceful. But divine arrogance disrupts the natural balance. Animals may become restless or avoid the person, and the energy around them feels tense or uncomfortable. This is nature's way of protecting its balance and truth. Because nature is deeply connected to spiritual truth, it acts as a mirror. It reflects whether a person's confidence is genuine or inflated. This reflection helps us understand ourselves better and reminds us to stay humble, no matter how gifted or chosen we feel. In the end, the fine line between confidence and divine arrogance is about intention and respect. Confidence uplifts and connects, while arrogance isolates and controls. Nature always knows the difference, and its reactions show us what kind of energy we carry. Many people think that being chosen by God or having a special spiritual calling means they have the right to judge others. They believe that because they have a unique connection with the divine, they can decide who is right or wrong, good or bad, worthy or unworthy. This idea can lead to pride and division, where the chosen person looks down on others, feeling superior. But this is far from the true message of God and what it means to be truly chosen. God's true messengers don't judge. Instead, they reflect love, kindness, and humility. Their mission is not to place themselves above others, but to serve, guide, and support. True spirituality is about lifting people up, not tearing them down. It's about understanding that every person has value and is part of a greater plan, even if their path looks different. When someone truly carries a divine message, their heart is filled with compassion. They see the struggles, pain, and mistakes of others and respond with patience and grace. They don't rush to condemn or criticize because they know that everyone is on their own journey. Instead, they offer encouragement, forgiveness, and hope. This attitude comes from deep humility. True messengers understand that their gifts and knowledge are not for their own glory, but to help others grow. They don't seek to control or dominate, but to inspire and empower. Their confidence is quiet and steady, rooted in love rather than judgment. In contrast, those who judge harshly often hide insecurity or pride behind their chosen status. They may quote scriptures or spiritual teachings to support their views, but their actions reveal a lack of true understanding. Their judgment creates barriers between people and pushes others away from the very love they claim to represent. Animals and the spiritual world can sense the difference between these attitudes. True messengers attract peace and trust because their energy is gentle and sincere. Those who judge harshly repel others, including animals, because their energy is heavy and proud. Being chosen is not about having power over others. It's about using one's gifts to serve with love. It means walking humbly and recognizing that everyone has worth, no matter their mistakes or beliefs. It means reflecting the divine light through kindness, not through superiority. This truth challenges us all to examine how we treat others. Are we quick to judge, or do we respond with love and understanding? Are we using our strengths to build bridges, or are we putting up walls? At the heart of true spirituality is a simple but powerful message. Love is greater than judgment. Those who are truly chosen carry this message in their hearts and actions, showing the world what it really means to be a messenger of God. When animals come near you, their behavior can say a lot more than words ever could. Unlike people, animals don't judge based on what you say or how you look. They respond to your energy, your true spirit. This makes their reactions a powerful mirror that reflects the real condition of your soul. Animals are deeply connected to the natural world and the spiritual energy that flows through everything. They sense kindness, honesty, and peace just as clearly as they sense fear, anger, or pride. When you have a calm, humble, and loving spirit, animals tend to relax around you. They may approach quietly, nuzzle close, or simply stay nearby, showing trust and comfort. This kind of response is a silent sign that your soul is open and welcoming. On the other hand, if animals recoil, shy away, or act uneasy when you're near, it could be a signal that something is out of balance within you. Animals can feel tension, negativity, or ego, even if you don't realize you're carrying those energies. Their instinct helps protect them from harm, so they keep their distance from anything that feels harmful or false. This natural sensitivity of animals to human energy has been known for ages. In many cultures, animals are seen as spiritual guides or protectors because they can sense truths hidden beneath words and appearances. They help reveal what is really inside a person's heart. So, paying attention to how animals react to you is more than just noticing cute behavior. It's an invitation to reflect on your inner self. Are you living with openness and love, or are pride, fear, or negativity weighing on your soul? The way animals respond can be a gentle nudge to look inward and make changes if needed. In the end, animals don't just react to your presence. They respond to who you truly are. Their reactions can reveal the condition of your soul in a way that no mirror or words can. Listening to these silent messages helps us grow, heal, and become more aligned with our true selves. Chosen ones are special people who carry a unique energy and purpose in their lives. They often feel different from those around them. Sometimes, people misunderstand or even judge them because they don't always fit into regular ideas or ways of thinking. Yet, despite this confusion from humans, animals seem to naturally adore chosen ones. The reason is simple. A chosen one's spirit speaks louder than their words. Humans tend to focus on what people say or how they behave on the surface. When someone is quiet, humble, or different, others might not understand them. This can lead to judgment or isolation. People may label chosen ones as strange or distant simply because they don't follow the crowd. But true connection goes beyond words or appearances. It comes from energy and spirit. Animals, on the other hand, don't listen to words. They feel energy. They can sense the kindness, honesty, and purpose in a person's spirit. Animals have an incredible ability to read beyond surface-level behavior and see what's real inside someone's heart. This is why animals are drawn to chosen ones. They recognize a genuine energy that others might miss. A chosen one's spirit often shines quietly but powerfully. They don't need to prove themselves with loud words or actions. Instead, their calm presence and sincere intentions create a deep resonance with animals. A dog might sit calmly beside them, a bird might perch nearby, or a cat might softly follow them around. These animals sense that the chosen one carries light, humility, and peace. This connection between chosen ones and animals also teaches us about the true nature of leadership and strength. Real strength is not about dominance or showing off. It's about quiet confidence, compassion, and integrity. The chosen one leads by example and by the energy they radiate, not by demanding attention or control. Animals respect and respond to this kind of strength. The bond between chosen ones and animals can also be a source of healing and support. When people misunderstand or reject them, animals provide unconditional acceptance and companionship. This connection can give chosen ones comfort and courage to continue their path despite challenges. In many spiritual traditions, animals are seen as messengers or guides from the natural world. Their special bond with chosen ones reminds us that true wisdom and power come from harmony with nature and the universe. The way animals respond to chosen ones is a silent confirmation of their authenticity and purpose. It's important to remember that being a chosen one doesn't mean being perfect or always understood. It means having a calling that might not always fit with popular opinion or easy acceptance. It means walking a path of truth, even when it feels lonely or difficult. But the connection with animals shows that this path is real and valued in the grand scheme of things. For anyone who feels misunderstood or different, this bond offers hope. It's a reminder that words and judgments from others don't define your worth. What truly matters is the spirit you carry, the light, love, and purpose inside you. Animals see and honor this truth without doubt. In the end, chosen ones and animals share a special understanding. Their relationship goes beyond language or society's rules. It is based on pure, honest energy that speaks louder than any words. This connection teaches us to look deeper, to value spirit over appearance, to trust the quiet power within, and to recognize the true strength of humble, authentic souls. What if animals are not just our pets or companions, but powerful guardians sent to watch over us in ways we don't fully understand? What if their presence in our lives is part of a greater spiritual mission to test our energy, observe our true intentions, and then report back to the spiritual realm? This idea may sound mysterious, but when we look closely at how animals behave around us and how deeply connected they are to the natural world, it becomes clear that their role is far more important than just being cute or friendly creatures. Animals live in tune with nature's rhythms and spiritual energy that humans often overlook. Unlike people, animals don't rely on words, appearances, or status. They respond directly to energy, the invisible vibe that each person gives off. This energy includes our emotions, thoughts, and intentions. Because of this, animals have a unique ability to sense who we really are beneath the surface. Many cultures throughout history have recognized animals as sacred beings with spiritual roles. In some traditions, animals are seen as messengers between the physical world and the spiritual realm. They guide, protect, and sometimes even warn humans about hidden dangers or truths. Their actions, whether gentle or fierce, can reveal important messages about our spiritual condition. When an animal chooses to stay close to someone, it often means that person carries a pure or positive energy. The animal feels safe and trusts that person's intentions. But when animals shy away, growl, or act anxious around certain individuals, it might be a sign that something in that person's energy is off. Maybe hidden pride, anger, or dishonesty. In this way, animals act like spiritual guardians, silently testing the quality of the energy we put out into the world. Imagine your pet or an animal near you as a spiritual sensor, constantly evaluating whether your heart is open or closed, whether your intent is honest or selfish. They watch more than just your actions. They watch your spirit. Their reactions provide a mirror to your inner self, showing you what you might not even realize about your energy or behavior. This concept also explains why animals sometimes seem to know things before humans do. They may alert us to danger or come to comfort us when we are troubled. This intuitive awareness connects them to the spiritual realm, where their observations and judgments matter. It's as if they carry the responsibility of reporting back to a higher power, helping to maintain balance between the physical world and the unseen spiritual forces. Understanding animals as guardians shifts how we relate to them. It asks us to respect their presence as more than just companions. They are spiritual beings with wisdom and purpose. This perspective encourages us to be mindful of our energy and intentions, not just for ourselves, but because we are being watched and tested by these powerful guardians. The idea that animals report back to the spiritual realm can also inspire us to live more authentically, knowing that our true intentions are being observed, not just by people, but by the very creatures around us, can encourage honesty, kindness, and humility in our daily lives. In a world where so much is uncertain, the presence of animals as spiritual guardians offers comfort and guidance. Their silent watchfulness reminds us that we are part of a larger spiritual story, one where every action and energy counts. By honoring and listening to these guardians, we open ourselves to deeper connection, healing, and understanding. So, next time an animal comes close or acts unexpectedly around you, remember, they might be more than just a pet. They could be a guardian sent to watch your energy, test your intentions, and help keep the balance between the seen and unseen worlds. Their silent presence is a powerful reminder that spirituality is all around us, sometimes in the quiet eyes of a creature who sees what words cannot express. When animals begin to avoid you, it often feels like just a coincidence. Maybe they're shy, or simply not in the mood for company. But what if it's not random at all? What if animals are actually sensing something deeper within you, something invisible yet powerful, like the state of your spirit? In many spiritual teachings and ancient traditions, animals are seen as natural guardians and messengers. They don't judge by words or appearances, but by the energy and intentions that radiate from your soul. If they pull away or shy away from your presence, it might be a sign that your ego is blocking the divine connection that naturally draws animals and spiritual harmony close to you. Ego is a tricky thing. It's that part of us that craves recognition, pride, control, and superiority. When the ego dominates, it creates a wall between our true selves and the deeper spiritual truth that connects us to all living things. The ego often disguises itself as confidence, righteousness, or even spiritual superiority. But underneath, it builds a barrier that blocks genuine connection and humility. Animals, with their sharp instincts and sensitivity to energy, can pick up on this barrier. They sense when someone is operating from ego rather than from a place of authentic spirit and love. Unlike humans, animals don't need words to understand us. They don't care about our social status, reputation, or what we say about ourselves. What matters to them is the energy we give off, the vibrations that come from our heart and soul. When the ego is strong, this energy becomes heavy, defensive, or even aggressive. It pushes others away, including animals who naturally avoid anything that feels false or threatening. When an animal moves away from you or refuses to come near, it's often because it feels the energy of ego rather than the warmth of a humble and loving spirit. This avoidance is not meant to punish, but to protect. Animals are connected to the natural world and spiritual realms in a way that humans often forget. They act as guardians, silently testing and responding to the energies around them. If your ego blocks the divine connection, animals instinctively know to keep their distance. They are not rejecting you personally. Rather, they are responding to the truth of your energy at that moment. This situation is an important invitation for self-reflection. When you notice that animals avoid you, it can be a powerful sign to look inward and ask, am I allowing ego to dominate my thoughts, words, and actions? Am I putting on a mask of false confidence or spirituality? Am I judging others, seeking praise, or trying to control how I am seen? These questions are not easy to face, but they open the door to growth and healing. The divine connection, the true spiritual bond we share with animals and the natural world, is based on humility, love, and authenticity. It thrives when the ego steps aside and lets our higher self shine through. When you release ego's grip, you allow your spirit to breathe freely. Your energy becomes lighter, more open, and naturally magnetic. Animals respond to this energy by coming closer, trusting you, and showing affection. This connection is a reflection of your inner harmony with the world around you. Many spiritual teachers and traditions emphasize the importance of humility as the foundation for true spiritual growth. Humility does not mean weakness. Rather, it means recognizing your place within the larger universe